All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, the Doordash Revolution. We're back again with another episode. We had a very busy schedule yesterday, rather this week for the last 3 days. We've been grinding in the streets, putting a lot of hours in, and now we're doing a live stream this morning. We welcome you to Take It to the Streets Live morning show, as well as we're going to be doing a pre-show analysis of Hulksmash and Red as they do their challenge today. Folks say first in the room, and I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and talk about this challenge that's going to be happening. Well, it's happening right now. And we're running behind in time. My time zone different than everybody. Still not an excuse, but I'm normally behind everybody else's time zone. And plus two, by being up as late as I was doing Grubhub. All right. Let me go ahead and see can I pull the channel up right quick. Let's do it like this here. All right, let's do it like this. And like this. And let's turn it sideways to get a better view. I can leave it like I have it. And this is what she's showing right there. They already on live right now. That's day one. This is day two. And it's a very interesting challenge that George came up with. So what do you mean, D-Rev is an interesting challenge? He's very creative in bringing ideas to the table. You know, I call him the ambassador of the Yeah, community. He can just about can go on anybody's channel, anybody's panel, and usually can be welcomed there. He so often communicate and collaborate in the live stream chats with a lot of content creators. He has his questions, he have his perspective, and he will challenge you on what you do. Uh, he's a veteran Navy sailor, my shipmate. I got all kind of stuff going through the screen right now. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. I also speak with people in live chat here. On the phone, I get text messages, important text messages, giving me updates on what's going on in our community. And this challenge here, I appreciate Red for doing what she's doing in these live stream ride alongs. She took it to a new level, that having any content creator have taken it to. It brings entertainment, excitement, seeing her go through these challenges. She don't back down, you know. That's why I give her my salute. And this is their rematch from a previous challenge they had, earlier this year. And I got to catch up on doing the thumbnails. My thing is getting um organization going and getting my timing down. Like ever since the time changed this year, it's been throwing me off. Or I might be got too much on my plate. So I'm gonna scale back on some so it can bring more quality to you. I got to get out in the streets a little bit more due to my deactivation on Doordash. You know, and I'm just gonna say a little bit about it. Maybe a good thing, that is happening this way, but I still got to address it. I've seen a lot of content creators give their opinion, give their point of view. Because you have a point of view, an opinion don't mean that it's right, unless you are wearing that other person's shoes. So a lot of times when we see things on the other side of the fence, we don't even look at a person's story through their pair of lenses. We have a community of viewers. They somewhat biased. And I'm not talking about color, I'm talking about who they like and who they dislike. That determines how they have their perspective or their opinion about certain individuals. But yet you don't know their story, yet you're not going through their story and their experience. So you just can't just say your opinion right. Going off of assumptions, and you may see certain things, you disagree with. Everybody do something that people can disagree with. But are you actually living their experience is the thing that needs to be addressed out here. Well, this is what I'm going to get at, and then we're going to get back to what we're talking about. I see these content creators and all of them talking about they want to put their 2 cents in. They've been waiting for the day to find a clean cut way that says something negative about an individual. That's the bottom line, because we know that if you take 2 cents away from a dollar, the dollar don't have the value of a dollar anymore. And we know if you throw 2 pennies out there in the street, you can't buy anything with it. You got to add it to something, right? That already has value. Or you can add it to something to devalue something that has value. All right. So when they sit there and they throw these cheap shots talking about that they want to put their 2 cents in, I want to ask them the question: have you experienced what that person experienced? Can you relate to what that person experienced? If not, then it's not a reality in your world. Because it's not a reality in your world, don't mean that it don't exist. It just haven't caught up to you yet, so you can experience it. Keep on living, you will experience some things that you thought wasn't relatable will be a reality. That's what we wanted to put out there. And there's so much talk about Pedro and dashing across America. And we had other content creators that got deactivated after them. I was the first content creator that got deactivated with this last wave of deactivation, and I told people it was going to change the era of content. Okay, we were to do a documentary of the history. We can't leave out all the major players that was caught up in this event. All right, so after I got deactivated, the ball looked like it got to rolling on content creators. That's due because people been complaining. That's due because people been calling Doordash. That's what got the ball rolling. You see, you even have people will fake that they got deactivated, will delete their own account and get screenshots from other content creators or their viewers' channels or from another social media website and tie all that thing together, making you think they actually got deactivated when they didn't. Then next thing you know, they come back with a story saying they being reactivated. There's a problem with that. One or two things: are you lying, or you covering up the story and keeping the truth from the viewers' eyes to where you want to get clicks and views. Now that's all we're gonna say about that, because I still got to do my deactivation series. There's so many people that's seeking after to say, okay, we know where you're going with it. We're gonna do it like this here, but they don't have my ideals. They don't have my perspective. They don't have my concept unless they in here. All right. Now, to no further ado, we got this matchup between them two. It's going to be a good matchup. I'm supposed to be on a panel this week. I want to be on it today, but I know I got to get out there and grind. I got a goal that I'm setting, and I got to get out in the streets to get that goal. And I want to talk about Grubhub for a little bit. Also, with Grubhub, I used to use it as a filler app. It was not one of my main apps. It was a filler app. It filled in the gap to where I was maximizing on one platform. Boom, I flip it on, get a good hit, and I move on. Switch to another app. Boom, get a good hit, move on. Then jump back on DD when DD is lucrative, and get down like that in these streets. So we have through our strategies, through our techniques, through our case studies, you learn from your mistakes, trials, and error, right? But when you do a case study, you learn how to analyze things from a different pair of lenses. So with Grubhub, people asking how well is it doing? What type of content you gonna be putting out? Okay, is you gonna be as informative with Grubhub and deliver that like you was with DoorDash? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna be as transparent due to you got people that hate on content creators' content. That's just the truth, not just me. All content creators that's publishing content in this community will go through that sooner or later. New or veteran OG that's been doing content in this community for years. Everybody not gonna say anything good about you. Everybody not gonna say anything bad about you. There's gonna be times it's gonna be what it is. You determine how you influence people with positivity, content creator, or it can be negative. There's going to be a lot of changes in the community. I'm not going to say what they are, but you're going to see it being played out. It's already being played out. You know what I mean? It's already been played out. So when people start hating on you, you know you must be doing something right. What is it? And what's the reason for them hating on you? Don't beat your brains in about it. You know what your mission is for having a channel. You know what your mission is to publish content. Okay. And sometimes you have to go back to your content, look at it 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, a year later, from a different pair of lenses. And you can see the reason why there's jealousy and envy that so often come at your channel. If you're a pioneer of content in the past, events that changed the way things are today, you will be able to see what they hate now. If you one with fresh and new ideas, you will see what they hate now. Especially if nobody came up with it before, they're gonna hate on you. So you have to look at that in a way, in a different perspective, that I'm doing something right. But you got to do a honest evaluation of yourself, an honest performance evaluation of yourself. Don't nobody know your heart better than you and God, right? And the people that's supposed to be in your close circle. So people have hidden agendas for hidden agendas. What's up, information man? Reacts, we appreciate you being here. You're gonna see channels that were getting views, not gonna get the views. It happens in my cycle from time to time. I get some views. It's like, going towards the mountaintop and going back down. You know, 5,000 views on the video, depending on how fast them views come. If it come in 30 minutes, and that you already know that's a viral video. But if it come in 30 days, that's not really considered a viral video. Yeah, you got 5,000 views. I can use an example. If I were to do that building right there, I charge $10,000 to do that building. They said, how long is it going to take you to get it done? I get it done in a month, but I know I can get it done in 2 weeks, right? So I finished it a week early. I got $10,000 in 1 week. Would you rather make $10,000 in 1 week or make $10,000 in 1 year? Get what I'm saying? The value of that $10,000 decreased the longer it takes for you to get that money. Same way with views. You know, the value of it and how valuable it is for your content and your channel. You see, so you have to take it in perspective. You got to do a case study on a lot of categories to find out what works and what don't work. No, I'm not a YouTube expert, and I'm not trying to be a YouTube expert coach today. I'm just sharing my experience and my perspective. So we got community guidelines, and we had to abide by them. And there will be times YouTube gonna let you know things. They will let you know. If you're stirring a little to the left, they're gonna let you know. And then the term shadow banning is coming up so much in our community now that it wasn't coming up before. All right, that means we got to start thinking about some things. Just like I can use my channel for an example. If I feel like that I done went through that phase, then I got to look at what type of content I've been putting out there that gave that red alert. Because you will get a warning. They will let you know things before those things happen. Well, man, you just get hit with it without them, letting you know. Okay, what other things they was letting you know before that happened? See, people not being honest about what's going on. And people think that's Some people not smart enough to read and do research. When we got the library at our fingertips on in a worldwide web, which is the internet, that is the world's library. We got it right at our fingertips. That's just that easy to get that information and find out the truth for yourself. So we got Hulksmash, Red. They're going in the challenge. This is my pre-show analysis of what I'm getting ready to say. It's not their first time meeting up. You know, both of them are veteran drivers. Both of them got good markets. Now, George market, and I'm getting ready to let the world know in this community here, is underrated. That's why he can surprise a lot of drivers and be a winner. Well, how do you know, D-Rev? Me and this man, we do ride-alongs all the time. I notice how fast he pick up his orders, how fast he drop them off. Not just on Doordash, on other other apps as well. So he good at what he do. He good at what he do. So this challenge is different than any challenge that I have seen and ever heard of. When he told me about the idea, I was like, wow. So he's doing 2 apps each day of the challenge. And if I'm correct, he told her she can use as many apps as she wants to. He only going to use 2 every day. Not the same apps. If he use DoorDash and Uber Eats today, he's gonna use a different 2 apps tomorrow. That's a great idea. That's a great case study. And what my perspective is on it in this case study, that it will show viewers that are delivery drivers that can relate to, I don't need to depend on one app for my major income. Just like I can explain it from my experience after getting deactivated off of DoorDash. Suppose I didn't have Grubhub. Suppose I didn't have Deliver That. Suppose all of a sudden I got to sign up for apps. Can't get on. All of them on the waiting list because it's super saturated and I waited 3 years too late. That means I'm gonna have to do something else, right? I can't sit and wait to get approved, to get started when I'm on a waiting list. That's not promised me that the next day I can be on a platform. It line 2 years from now. I gotta find another way to make an income. W2 not bad, people. We get out here and we talk bad about a W2 because we think these gig apps are gonna be sustainable. And some drivers think they're gonna be able to make a career out of it. You gotta get it while the getting is good. Find ways to invest your money and put it in another stream of income to where if this goes down, I see I'm lagging right now. I can go right over here and I don't have to wonder where I'm gonna make my money. Let me make sure, like I said, I'm lagging right now. I want to check something right quick. Because it changes through the course of my live stream. Then I got another phone. Okay, we'll do that. Let's see. Then I got another phone. Okay, there we go. We good to go right there. We good to go. So with this challenge, okay, that means I gotta go on board. Let me see what time I gotta go on board. thought it was 10:30. It might be right now. Let's see. I'm good to go. I don't have to go on board to 11 o'clock. That's a good thing. I'm not going to have a real long live. But a lot of people like D-Rev, like you've been missing in action. I haven't been missing in action. I just reduced the amount of content that I'm putting out. For 3 consecutive months, I put out 20 live streams per month, which was 60 live streams in 90 days. Plus, I got to get out here in these streets, work my multiple apps, and I got to do a certain amount of time to make a certain amount of income, or I'm going to come up short. Versus a year ago, I could go out there in 3 hours, make $150, and I can relax, go home, I can do other things. I don't have that luxury now. So to make that $150, it's going to take 8 hours now on the Grubhub app. All right, I got you. We'll do that on the Grubhub app. Any new drivers that's doing these platforms, any new driver must take this into consideration. You got to set some goals. And I'm not just going to tell you got to set some goals. You need to know what your goals are before you can even set any goals. They better be realistic. Looking at past videos may mislead you because that video is a little bit different type of content in the era of the moment that it was published. What may have worked at that moment may not work now. That doesn't mean that content was misleading. That was content being published during the era of the moment that things was happening, events was happening when that content got published. We got to know the difference. Well, that's misleading content because it's not working out and tried it. Okay, how old was that content before it got published? And during the era of the events, the reason why that content creator published that information. If there's been changes that took place 12 months later, that means that content got to be updated with another video, and expounding on the changes and the updates that have taken place. Why drivers can't make that money now? They used to make that money then. You can still make $150 depending on what market you're in and depending on your decision making. Decision making should be the number one thing on the list. That's what they're going to be doing here in this challenge here, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be some decision making. They already set the chart out. They already set their goal for this week, for this challenge. All of us have a challenge every day when we're on these apps. We have a challenge in life. What are you doing gig apps or what are you doing something else? We all can relate to every day there's a challenge. So the lesson and the moral to the lesson of this challenge, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at from this pair of lenses. We all face a challenge every day. Your thought process before you put your clothes on. Your thought process in how I'm going to plan my day. Is it going to be realistic? You You got to find out what the realistic statistics is in your market. $12 an hour to $15 an hour on Grubhub in a super saturated handicap market. Why did you use the word handicap market? Because other markets, just like a candy store, they got a variety of apps they can choose from 0 to 50. Here it may not be no more than 15. All of them super saturated. Now, that's the realistic part of what we need to relate to. This is what the challenge is going to get people to understand. All of us have a very favorite app we like to be on more than the rest. But what if one day you're not able to use that app anymore? What can you do? Well, I just multi-app. Okay. There's still money out there you may not get, even though you multi-app. There may be money that you're missing. There may be a gold mine over there. You never knew about that gold mine because it's a certain app that's going to lead you to that gold mine. And you do it part-time, you'll never find out about it. That's what I mean. Sometimes we be on one app more than the other, and that app we may be on it too much. Well, speak for yourself. Well, I am speaking for myself because I did it with Doordash because I was doing a case study. I done found out new ways and new avenues that I never knew and would have not known if I hadn't got deactivated. So I have to change with the change. This is what my message is for drivers that get deactivated. This was the mission of my message I want to send to people when you get deactivated off the platform. You ain't got to go begging DoorDash to get back on. You ain't got to cheat the system to get back on. You know what I'm saying? Even though if it was the most busiest app for you, it might have been where you made most of your income, but you didn't get a chance to really learn the best that another app had to offer. Not when you not when you're doing multi-apping on 15 apps, unless you do them one at a time. Because each demographic is different for each app. Once you master that, then you will know. Because one app will lead you into that gold mine that you never knew existed. Let me use Instacart for a minute. It takes me over here and I see restaurants. I look at the zip code, I look at their address. I use my other resource tools and find out there were restaurants over here, a lot of catering orders over there on DoorDash application. Never knew about it, but the other app helped me discover it. DoorDash Rebels, I thought you said you weren't going to be as transparent. I'm not being as transparent because you still got to figure that out for yourself. You still got to discover that truth for yourself. You still got to discover that experience for yourself. All I did was turn the light switch on in your market. In your market, number one factor is decision making before market dependent. Let's get that straight. We got it out of order there. It's the decisions we make about the information that we receive. Once you receive that information, what are you going to do with that information? That's a question you need to ask yourself. I just put it on spot right now on how you're going to make a decision. You see, so I will be giving updated information on the challenge. You know, those that never seen a challenge like this one, I recommend you go and look at it. If you don't look at it, you're going to miss some valuable information that can help you increase your potential growth while using these gig apps and the challenges that we face. We spend so much time complaining and we call ourselves explaining about why we complaining and we're not getting anywhere because we're fooling ourselves. Fooling ourselves because we're looking at it from one angle. We're not looking at it from several different angles. All right. So he's doing 2 apps today. I kind of know how he works. We work together every day, just about. And when you see, you're gonna see him getting in there, getting in there, putting it down, in and out the vehicle, boom, dropping off. You're gonna be like, he sure is getting a lot of action going on. You're gonna be seeing Red getting her action on too. Instacart right now, when I did the statistics, is the leader of 5 different categories in food delivery. But we don't look at it like that. We look at it on the grocery shopping side. I guarantee you, on July the 3rd, July the 4th, Instacart shoppers made at least $400 in that day because shopping was off the chain, believe it or not. In my area, I know some Instacart drivers. If they were out here and if I were to talk to them about the experience, I guarantee you the number's going to be anywhere from $300 to $500 made in one day. Then you have Walmart Spark, your grocery apps. You're doing multiple apps on grocery apps because people was ordering for their cookouts or their barbecue. Knowing when the right time to turn that app on and make money is the decision we all have to make. Now, if you don't have them apps, there's a question you got to ask yourself. Where are the diners ordering from the most? And I'm not going to go in no deeper dive into that thing. I will do memberships and I will have certain information on the membership channel only that will provide some guidelines about that information. I'm not going to tell everything. You see, did you notice when I did my last live stream how I had my headphones on? How when I talked to driver care specialists, I was in a conversation with them just like this here. Off of a monologue, you can still tell what both people were talking about, but you didn't actually hear their voice. Prime example right there. But you could still tell that when I'm conversating with the other person on the line, you can still get enough information what's being taken place for giving a resolution to a problem as what a driver is having with that platform. You was able to feel that experience right there with me. Grubhub has changed in this market here to where 98% of my orders is already ready. There are times when I got to wait. That burnt me yesterday. Burnt bad. You know, is it possible to make $100 a day on Grubhub? Yes, it is. Is it possible to make $150 on Grubhub a day? Yes, it is. Is it possible to make $200 on Grubhub in a given day? Yes, it is. But why you didn't say anything about 300 and 400? I haven't experienced that yet. Is it sustainable? Is it lucrative to where you can depend on making that money every day? No, I don't think any platform is. The longer that platform exists, the more people find out about that platform, the more people going to join that platform, and the money value going to decrease. For drivers that used to make that money, they got to put in more hours now. Unless you figured out a strategic plan on when is the best time to be on this app and when the best time to be on that app. If you got to be on 15 different apps and work 15 hours to make $300 in one day, you might need to change the way you play the game because the times has changed. The times has changed. You might have to change the way you play the game because the time has changed. So if the time changed, you have to change the way you play the game. You sure is leaving a lot of fill in the blanks there. Yes. That's going to be the difference that when I'm giving you content. You're going to have to fill out more of the blanks now versus I'm giving you the answer to the open book test. You're going to have to start filling the blanks out. I will give you ideas. There's a sparking idea to where you discover that information for yourself. But once you receive that information, then it's up to you to make the right decision on how you use that information to maximize your earnings. You see, to maximize your earnings. Why are you looking down, D-Rail? Well, I'm looking down because I'm receiving messages right now. Okay. Why are you smiling, D-Rail? I'm smiling because as an analyst, as a gig worker, an independent worker, we're going to use the term gig, as a gig worker and a gig analysis on these challenges, I'll usually be dead on. You know, but it's not over with yet. Wow. It's not over with yet. Put it that way. But it's heading in the direction I said it's going to head it in. But it depends on each individual, the way they think, the way they analyze their market, the decisions that they make, not on just the banging orders, but the decision they make on every order. That's why you need to look at this challenge here. When you look at that challenge and you be a little bit analytical and not be biased towards either or, there's a lesson to be learned so you can digest this information and consume it and understand that each order job assignment that being offered to us, there's a decision to accept or decline. If I decline this, will this hurt me from making more money? If I accept this offer, will it hurt me for making more money? Only experience gonna tell you the truth on that story. Then once you start learning and gathering historical data on the decisions that you made, on the job assignments that you chose to get that money, you're gonna start maximizing your income growth. I already saw it, Hook. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the update. I think Hook want me to show the update. That's what it is. I wasn't gonna show it till he said something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the war started on today's date. Yesterday really was the date that it's supposed to get started until the day for 12 a.m. to 10 p.m. Red may use any app for her choosing at any time. Hulksmash can use 2 apps per day on a day. Wow. I'm trying to comprehend what he said. From what I'm understanding, he's in here, he's going to correct me. When he used these 2 apps, just like today, if he used Doordash and wrote it, I'm not saying that's what he's using. I'm just putting it out there of thought. He can't use Roadie and DoorDash throughout the course of this week. Only can use that one for one day. The way I'm gathering this information, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting challenge. Then he's going to do 2 different apps the next day. Very interesting challenge. Now, on her end, she may use any apps of her choosing at any time. So, Hook made the challenge even more difficult for himself, more so than Red, because the Hook, from my perspective, is pushing the needle on breaking boundaries. He want to see, with all the stack of cards or the deck of cards stacked against him, how he will perform in this challenge. It reminds me of the $100 challenge. This last challenge that I did, ladies and gentlemen, I stacked all odds against me. I didn't supposed to win. I didn't supposed to win. And I barely lost by 60 some odd cents with all the stacked a deck of cards against me. Police pulling me over, people trolling the account while I'm doing a live stream. All sorts of things happened. Drivers found out that I was on doing this challenge, decided, well, we're going to smash these areas we think he's going to be there to make sure he don't get that, make that. What area of town he in, we're going to smash that area that we don't normally go in, but we're going to make sure he don't make that money. Went through all of those challenges. I knew that. I'm not making excuses. I put those stipulations against me. He's doing something similar to that, but on a higher level. Higher level. She can use any apps. She got 100 of them. She can use them all doing the challenge. And knowing him, he's very selective. He could have 100 apps, but he only going to choose 10. He's only going to use 2 per day. If they're doing 7-day challenge, he's going to have only 14 apps. He's going to use 2 per day, and he's not going to be able to use the same one. He put that stipulation against himself because he wanted a true challenge. He wanted everything stacked up against him. And Information Man said, peace to Hulksmash. We're going to do this here. Take our time right now for station identification. We thank you once again, Information Man. You've been having some powerful topics in your show. I've been watching them too. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Especially with the male and the female when it comes to blue collar workers versus white collar workers and the amount of money one gender make over the other. How does, I'm just paraphrasing or summarizing from my perspective on how it affects relationships, or if anyone want to be in a relationship with somebody. That was a powerful show. That was powerful. Powerful. Peace and respect to you. And he also said peace and respect to Hulksmash. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about the results of this because I'm going to have to jump on in a few minutes. No, not in a few minutes. I'll be jumping on at 11 a.m. The earnings here is total earnings $210.67. Distance is 118. 25 trips between the two of them. Between the two of them. Red is in the lead right now. And let's see. I'm going to do a mathematical calculation right now. She's in the lead. Make sure I got the numbers right. My eyes will play tricks on me sometimes. All right. Red is in the lead by $68.35 as of that update. We don't know what it is after he sent this to me. At the moment that he sent this information to me, she is in the lead $68.35, which means it's still a close race. Very close race. I know she was using Instacart because she talked about one of her pickups. You know, I'm going to be on the panel with them doing this challenge. I may be able to be on it today. I'm not going to say because right now I'm concentrating on my money too. I have a challenge also. My challenge is I know what the statistic is in my market. The average statistic for an average player that plays the Grubhub game, and it's realistic. Been on Grubhub 2 months, using it full time. So I know how much money I got to make. No, I know how much money I got to make in a day. How many hours it's going to take me to make that money. That's a big adjustment for me because I used to make my money $150 in 3 hours or 4 hours. That's a major adjustment for me. So I know I got to do X amount of hours to make that amount, which means I got to at least do 8 hours to make that amount between $100 and $150. But what about the weekends? Supposed to make more, right? Yeah, you can make more depending on your decision making, depending on the lack of knowledge of what's going on in your market is what you're going to have to discover. What is it what type of information that I'm lacking that I don't have that will determine the outcome from my decision making on how I can increase my income growth realistically to make this amount every day. Remember earlier I said that is it possible for a Grubhub driver to make $100 a day? Oh yes, I've done it. Is it possible for a Grubhub driver to make $200 in a day? Oh yes, I have done it. Then I said, is it sustainable? I said no. Is it possible to make $150 in a given day on Grubhub? Oh yes, I have done it. But the hours have increased. The challenges that I face in the market, those are things I won't be transparent about because I'm in a market, they pay attention to me. That's all I'm gonna say. So question is, have I gotten any catering orders since I've been doing this thing full force? Yeah, I done had four. I done had four large orders. I had one yesterday. How much was the payout amount? I'm not revealing that information. You have to be a member to find out a little bit of that information. Not being as transparent with this app like I was with Doordash because I did a true case study with Doordash. I'm doing one here too, but I'm not going to be as transparent. I would just give enough information to get you to start searching and looking and understanding things for yourself because it's your decision on whatever information you're receiving during the era of the content that that content creator publish, how well you use that information off your decision making in your market when you discover truth to maximize your income growth. So I'm not going to tell you what was Red's amount. I'm not going to tell you what his amount is right now. I may do it at the end of the day. We'll talk about those things. Hopefully, I'll be able to discuss those things with both of them on her channel. And I may even do my live stream and we watching them too over here. You know, I just wasn't as prepared as I should have been. I knew about the thing was going to go down, the challenge for a month. But that's on me, on my organization, and my scheduling I have to do. You know, so it's no excuses for it, but we're going to try our best to get them thumbnails up for the next challenges for the next following days. So she'll know exactly what's going on. Okay, let me see. I need to do some scheduling. Right now, let's see what we're going to do on the schedule. Okay, that's the only time available on Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. All right, I took it. All right. No, I didn't take it. Let me go ahead and take it. That's what I got to do right there. I got that. Woo, that looks ugly. Mm. What I will share is, mm, I'll hold off on that day. Mm, I'm not gonna be after that late. We're gonna try this on Wednesday. I'm picking my schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Saturday. So Grubhub drivers know that if you're not a premier driver and you being shown the update to be able to schedule on Saturdays, or you already know you're not a premier driver. That's just for the Grubhub drivers out there. Now viewers that are not Grubhub drivers, they know about it, but majority of the time When you see someone do Grubhub, they are usually a multi-app 100% of the time. I'm gonna say 98.5% of the time. There's a very rare occasion you find a Grubhub driver. That's all they do, just Grubhub. Thursday, do I want to do that Thursday? Let's see. I got that slot. I don't want to do them slots. I'm not gonna do them slots either. I'll do this one on Thursday. Let's see what Friday. What Friday? What I got for Friday? They ain't give me. Oh, I'm not doing that slot. That looks better. This right here looks better for me. Let me hurry and get for somebody to get it. All right. I might do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to commit to that. Saturday. That looks good for me. All right. I don't want to commit to that. All right. Woo. I'm not going to commit to that either. Bam. I didn't have too much to choose from. I learned from being on both sides of the fence. When I'm a premier driver, I look at things. You have a longer range on how to make your decisions when you need to make a decision as a premier driver versus pro and partner. And we're gonna hit up there. All right. I'll look at that later. Let's see. Looking at my stats, looking at my ratings. They look pretty good. Now, this is one I want to share with Grubhub drivers. I'm going to do a video about it too. We're still talking about the Gig War Challenge, but I want people to look at it more than just the Gig War Challenge. Look at it as we all face challenges in life, and I want people to look at it on this level when you look at them do their challenges. And the challenge you need to look at is the decisions that each individual are making. They could be in the same market, but they're not in two different markets. They could be in the same market. It's still going to be leading up to their decision making. Plus, it's market dependent, but decision making is number one factor. Knowing what's going on in your market is number two. All right. Number three, what you have discovered from the experience. Now, how well is you going to use this information that's going to help you maximize your earnings on whatever platform you want? Just what I want people to start looking at. Or still clogging up in one area. I'm gonna use my hometown, Germantown and Collierville. Everybody want to clog that area up. Collierville. Okay. There's other areas you can make money in. There are 7 areas I know you can make money in. You may make more, less competition. But everybody won't Collierville. It's just like this tree here. If it was full of apples on this tree to its maximum capacity, if everybody go to this tree and don't go to the other trees, this tree gonna run out of the best fruit. Then after this tree run out of the best fruit, what then? What then? Challenges of drivers using multiple Doordash accounts. People was laughing at me when I first talked about these things. Signal jamming, spoofing, all of that. People laughed at me. I even had a military veteran trying to tell me from the Marines, you're gonna get in trouble talking about it. I was like, no, I'm not. This is not top secret information on a clearance security thing. Not gonna get in trouble. I'm telling what I'm experiencing. I don't know that he thought I was gonna go off into other stuff. I know my boundaries. I'm talking about my experience. So people like because they didn't like the content creator. Now you're hearing everybody telling you don't hear me have to say it anymore. Everybody else doing. They doing content. They publishing content on it now. A year later, 18 months later, 2 years later, they publishing content. When I talked about the pirates and all of that, they talking about them now. Did they knew what I meant when I said pirates? Not just in America. Pirates will usually be foreign. Now they talking about that. Don't they didn't get the message. Now they talking about immigrants, flooding the markets and everything. And they putting it towards almost crossing the line when they describing the situation. All I said was pirates. They going almost stepping across the line when they explained the experience. All I said was pirates. They should have knew what I meant when I said that. Now, DoorDash so concentrating on deactivating content creators that people call it in on. The very people that sit there and call DoorDash about the content creators are the ones using these multiple accounts. Why is it that DoorDash, you cannot catch the people using multiple DoorDash accounts? One content creator got bold enough to say that y'all don't care. Well, I could play the video right now. It just was published a few hours ago. So that's my proof that people been calling in on content creators. That's my proof that people go and call and go out of their way to make it their business to take money out of another driver's pocket. We call it pocket watch. We used to talk about back in the day, you got your hand in my pocket. Get your hand out of my pocket. What was the word we used to say? See. Now things get ready to come into a full circle. Those that threw that boomerang, get ready to hit them too. One way or another. Everybody gonna feel the domino effect of this thing. I seen 4 drivers in Collierville last week. I'm on Grubhub, so I'm looking, watching. We was in a certain restaurant. Mother and son was right there. She had 2 DoorDash accounts. How you know she had 2? Because I seen both of the phones, and I know what a DoorDash app looked like. He had one. He had his Uber Eats on the other. They came out of the restaurant with 4 orders per app. No, 4 orders combined, 1 on each app. There he is. What's going on? What's going on? Elizabeth, man, glad to see you tap in and everything on us. You know, and everything. Appreciate you. Let me do this right here, right quick. Right there, right quick. So, I'm looking at them. I didn't say a word. I mean, they had their phone. I didn't have to go over their shoulder to look at. I mean, they had their phone wide open. They was loose with their phone. I'm standing at least 10 feet away. They got the phone down, loose with it and everything. I'm like, wow. But these folks are not getting deactivated. So if there's 1, there's 10. As a fellow content creator used to say, if there's 10, there's 100. If there's 100, there's 1,000. There's 1,000, there's 10,000. If one person thinking like that, how many others are thinking like this? Why they ain't got deactivated? Then the content creator put out the information that they talk So the driver support personnel got a chance to talk to the escalation supervisor, and the supervisor told him to get another account. I'm not going to tell you where to find. You're going to have to find it yourself. Or it's out there. He may take it down now because I said so. And he got deactivated. So I guess, yeah, he got deactivated from what he was saying. If we are not able to reactivate your account, it's almost time for me to get started. Get you another account. That's all I'm going to say. Now, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the challenge. I said Red going to win today in round 1. I can be wrong. She's leading, but George market is a very underrated market. Columbia, South Carolina is a market that can just about challenge the top 10 markets. That's the best. They got the best food delivery on Doordash out of the top 10 or food delivery apps. Columbia, South Carolina drivers is very skilled and OG, just like Geezer and Hulksmash. You don't watch them, you'll be licking your wounds. You know, you be like here licking your wounds, like, man, I can't believe I lost. Their challenge. That's the type of market they in. Geezer used to make $100,000 on multiple apps before he started doing cargo. So there should sell a whole lot right there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we getting ready to get out of here. Let's see how I'm gonna do this here. Yeah, we're getting ready to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna play my extra music, but I'm supposed to go live tomorrow. That's not guaranteed. I will be watching them as I got a race to get to the border. Because you know, Grubhub, if you're out of range too long, you get kicked off the block, you lose 5 points. I appreciate the information man being here, tapping in on us today. Hulksmash was in here, Alizm was in here, and those that are viewing and watching, appreciate you, and everything. Check these challenges out. There's other challenges drivers are doing too. And once I get things lined up, me and Hulk and everything, I want to start talking about other people's challenges too. That's not affiliated with the GWO challenges. I want to be able to do those challenges too. But my time is limited, as you can tell. Before you go, is South Haven too populated with dashers or something? Yes. 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 Yes, it is. That's why you got so many orders coming to you going in the Memphis area that you don't want to go in. Because those drivers is cherry picking and ain't nothing left but those orders you're going to keep getting. Care how you cherry picking with them, you're going to keep getting them too. You're going to keep getting them because everybody cherry picking. Then you got multi-appers, man. You know, multi-appers. You see, and multi-appers, man, it's just like I got 3 apps here: Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash. All right, I get a $30 order here on DoorDash, $50 on Uber Eats. I'm gonna hold on to the Uber Eats. I get $100 banger with Grubhub. I'm getting ready to drop DoorDash right then. But I didn't help this DoorDash order for about 30 minutes. All right, you done went through several cycles, and you'll never see that order. That probably would have went to you. All you seeing is all of these Memphis orders taking you into Westwood, taking you in the 292 area, Pepper Tree Apartments and stuff like that in Kingsgate. Next thing you know, you get in them areas, you can't, you notice you can't, it's hard for you to get away. Yes, it's super saturated over there. And that's what's going on. See, they try to stay in that get well loop right there. 2 to 3 mile radius of that get well loop right there. You know what I'm talking about over there where Slim Chicken is, Lost Piece is over there. You can stay in that dickum loop right there in that algorithm, you make you some money. You know. Next thing you know, it'll take you straight down that area where you're over there in Memphis, where them warehouses is. If you're in that loop for a minute, you okay. See, this is a driver. I know what I'm talking about. He can relate to that experience because I'm accurate on what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go. I got to get out here and put my feet on that concrete. Peace, take care, and we will see you in the next video.